There is a sacred dance taking place beneath the surface of the world we see, a silent pull, a magnetic thread that tugs at the soul, sometimes gently, and other times with a force that brings us to our knees. This dance belongs to the twin flames, two parts of the same soul that once split into two bodies, each going on their own journeys through lifetimes, only to find each other again when the time is right. The reunion is not always peaceful. It rarely is. But it is divine. It is transformational, and it is true. Among these two sacred counterparts is the divine masculine. Often misunderstood, his role is deep and complex. He might appear distant, confused, or closed off at times, but within him lies an ocean of emotion, love, and recognition of you, the divine feminine, that he does not always know how to express in words. And yet, he sees you. He feels you. He loves you in ways you cannot always see with your eyes, but you can feel in your heart if you allow yourself to tune in. Today, let's talk about the things he secretly cherishes about you. These are the parts of you that melt his armor, that calm the chaos inside him, and that remind him of who he truly is. These are the things he might never say out loud, not because he doesn't feel them, but because the depth of them overwhelms him, scares him, or reaches places he hasn't fully opened yet. But still, they are there, alive in him, alive in you. Let's walk through them one by one, not just to understand him better, but to remember how radiant and powerful you truly are on this sacred path. Number 1, your unshakable love, even in silence. There's a kind of love that doesn't need words. It speaks through energy, through presence, through the way your soul continues to stand beside his, even when your bodies are apart. Your divine masculine feels this deeply. Even when he pulls away, even when he goes quiet, even when he seems to disappear. Your love doesn't chase, but it doesn't leave either, and that silently anchors him. He may not be able to explain why he feels safe when he thinks of you. He may not admit that your presence calms the storms within him, but it does. There's something about the way you hold him in your heart, without forcing, without demanding, without begging for his attention, that shows him a kind of loyalty he's rarely known. It's not the kind of loyalty that comes from waiting at the door. It's the kind that trusts the soul bond, that trusts the journey, that knows separation is never truly separation. In moments when he doubts himself, when he struggles to make sense of his emotions, he feels your love holding space for him. It may be subtle, a thought of you out of nowhere, a memory, a dream, but it reminds him of your silent strength. And though he may never put it into words, he loves you for loving him without needing to be loud about it. Your love makes him feel chosen, not because you say it 1,000 times, but because your energy speaks it every single day. So if you've ever wondered whether your silent love makes a difference, it does. It penetrates deeper than words ever could, and it's part of what he cherishes most about you. Number 2, your ability to see through him. The divine masculine often carries walls. Not just emotional ones, but energetic ones. He's been conditioned to be strong, composed, and in control. Vulnerability may scare him. Feelings may confuse him. He may even try to convince himself that he's fine without connection, without softness, without depth. But the truth is, when you look at him, you see him. And that shakes him. He can't hide from your eyes. Not really. You see his wounds even when he pretends they aren't there. You feel his energy shift even before he speaks. You know when he's hurting. You know when he's pulling away out of fear. You recognize the little boy inside him who still wants to be held and loved just as he is. At first, this might intimidate him. He may even run from it. Being seen so clearly can be uncomfortable, especially for someone who has learned to survive by hiding parts of himself. But over time, it becomes one of the things he values most about you. Because no one else sees him the way you do, and no one else makes him feel more human, more real, more whole. You reflect his soul back to him, not in judgment, but in love. And even when he doesn't know how to receive that reflection, he cherishes it. Because your eyes, your energy, remind him of the truth he's forgotten. And when he's ready, it's your gaze that leads him back to himself. So never underestimate the power of your presence. The way you see through him isn't a weakness, it's a gift. And it's one he holds in his heart, even if he can't bring himself to say it out loud. Number 3, your spiritual depth. You carry a connection to something sacred, a depth that goes beyond this physical world. The divine masculine may not always understand it, but he feels it in you. He feels it in the way you speak, the way you hold space, the way you trust in divine timing, even when things feel chaotic. Your spiritual presence grounds him. You remind him that life isn't just about survival, about logic, about achieving and fixing. You bring him into the realm of soul, into mystery, into surrender, into heart-centered wisdom. And though this may challenge him at times, it's also what draws him to you like a flame in the dark. There's a peace in you that he longs for, even if he can't articulate it. He may feel like a storm inside, but your energy is the still lake he returns to in his mind, again and again. Your practices, your meditation, your inner work, your connection to spirit, they create a field around you that feels like home to him. He may not be on the same path, and he may struggle to walk beside you at times, but your devotion to your soul is something he secretly admires and cherishes. He watches you, even from afar. And though he may seem uninterested or disconnected, your light is guiding him more than you know. Your spiritual depth reminds him of his own soul, and in your presence, he starts to remember who he truly is, not just a man in this world, but a soul on a divine journey. This depth is part of what makes your connection sacred. And though he may never say it out loud, his soul feels safe in yours. Number 4, your wild, untamed essence. There is a fire in you, a wildness, a raw, untamed beauty that refuses to shrink or conform. The divine masculine secretly loves this about you. He may not understand it, and at times it might scare him, especially if he's spent years trying to control or suppress his own wild nature. But still, he is drawn to it. You are not meant to be contained. You are not meant to be quiet or small. You carry the energy of creation, fierce, passionate, alive. And that energy calls to him on a primal level. It reminds him of the wildness within himself, the part he may have buried under roles and expectations, under responsibility and fear. Your freedom touches something ancient in him. When you express yourself freely, when you dance, laugh, cry, create, or speak from your soul, you ignite something in him that longs to rise. You show him that life isn't meant to be lived in boxes, that emotions aren't meant to be controlled, that love isn't meant to be safe. And though he may not always have the words to tell you, your wildness awakens his own. It makes him feel alive. He loves that you are not afraid to be real, that you allow yourself to feel deeply, to live fully, to follow your instincts. It challenges him, it liberates him, and it fascinates him. You may never hear him say it, but part of his soul is endlessly in awe of the way you burn so brightly. So never dim your light to make him more comfortable. Your wildness is not too much. It's the very thing that calls him home to himself. Number 5, your softness and nurturing presence. Though your power is vast, your softness is just as sacred. The divine masculine is drawn to the way you can hold space for him, the way you listen without fixing, the way you care without control, the way your energy wraps around him like a gentle embrace. He may not ask for it, but he needs it more than he realizes. In a world that often tells men to be strong, to be stoic, to hold it all in, your presence gives him permission to let go. Even if he doesn't know how to express it, your nurturing energy is a balm to his spirit. It soothes the parts of him that have been hardened by life. It reminds him that it's okay to be held, to be vulnerable, to be soft. This softness doesn't mean weakness. It means safety. It means presence. It means unconditional care. And though he may not always reciprocate in the ways you hope, he carries your warmth with him. In moments when he feels lost, overwhelmed, or alone, it is your energy he reaches for. Not always consciously, but instinctively. You have the ability to create an energetic sanctuary around him, even in silence. And though he may not have the words to describe it, he loves you for being the one place where he can lay his armor down. That softness, that feminine grace, is something he treasures deeply. Number 6, your inner strength and resilience. You've been through your own trials. You faced heartbreak, fear, uncertainty, and transformation, but you rise again and again. And this resilience is something your divine masculine quietly admires. He sees the way you keep going, the way you hold yourself through the storms, the way you continue to choose love even when it hurts. He may never tell you how much this inspires him, but it does. Your strength gives him hope. It shows him that healing is possible. that growth is real, that love can endure. When he watches you walk your path with grace, with dignity, with courage, he feels his own strength waking up. You may not feel strong every day. You may question your path, your worth, your progress, but he sees the strength in you, even when you don't, and that strength gives him something to believe in. Your resilience becomes a mirror for him, one that reflects what he too is capable of. And though he may not say it out loud, he holds your strength close to his heart. It reminds him that he too can rise. Number 7, your unbreakable soul bond. This connection between you and your divine masculine is not like any other bond. It doesn't follow rules. It doesn't need constant communication to stay alive. It simply exists. Quiet, powerful, unexplainable, yet deeply felt on both sides. It is the thread that ties your soul to his across any distance, through any silence, and in spite of all the moments where it feels like things are falling apart. There are times when he tries to push it away, not because he doesn't care, but because this connection shakes his world. It makes him feel things he's never allowed himself to feel. It brings parts of himself to the surface that he isn't sure how to handle yet. But even when he pulls back, the bond doesn't disappear. In fact, he feels it more intensely in your absence. It echoes in his heart, reminding him of you when he least expects it, through a song, a dream, or even the stillness in the middle of his day. This soul bond is something he can't control or explain. It lives beyond the mind. It moves through intuition, energy, and emotion. When he tries to forget you, the universe reminds him of you. When he tries to convince himself it was all in his imagination, life gives him signs, moments that feel like you're reaching out to him without saying a word. This isn't coincidence. It's the silent language of your connection. There are moments when he wonders why he can't let go of you, no matter how much time passes. He may even question if something is wrong with him for holding on to a love that doesn't follow a clear path. But deep down he knows, this bond is different. It's not based on appearances, promises, or logic. It's soul deep. And that scares him more than anything because it means he is not in control of it. But that same fear is what makes him realize how real it is. At times, this bond brings up intense emotions, longing, guilt, confusion, and even resistance. But through all of it, there's an undercurrent of love that never fades. That love might not look the way you hoped. It might not be expressed through words or actions right now, but it is present, like a quiet heartbeat beneath the noise of his everyday life. He may continue to resist, to doubt, or to run, but your connection is imprinted in his spirit. It doesn't fade with time or distance. It becomes a part of his very being, shaping how he sees love, how he sees himself, and how he feels your presence in his life. This soul bond will always exist between you. It's not dependent on circumstances. It doesn't need approval or understanding from anyone else. It's sacred, and it was chosen long before this lifetime began. Even if he never says it aloud, even if he acts like he doesn't feel it, his soul knows. His soul remembers. And when he's ready, when he finally turns inward and listens to what his heart has been trying to say, he'll recognize that this connection was never meant to be figured out. It was meant to be felt, cherished, held with reverence, because nothing this divine is ever lost. You are walking a sacred path, one that asks you to love deeply without losing yourself, one that invites you to trust what you feel, even when what you see doesn't yet reflect it. This journey with your divine masculine is not easy. It stretches you, it breaks you open, and yet it is here to awaken something extraordinary within you. You may often wonder if he sees your worth, if he values your heart, if he feels this bond the way you do. And while he may not give you the answers you want right now, know this: his soul sees you, even when his words do not. He may not have the tools to explain what he feels. He may not know how to handle the power of this connection. But that doesn't mean it's not real to him. He watches you in ways you don't notice. He senses you in moments you'll never hear about. He feels your love when he's lying awake at night, wondering why nothing else fills the space you left behind. You don't need to prove your love or earn his attention. You already live in his heart, not because you forced your way in, but because your energy resonates with the deepest part of him. And still, this journey is not just about him. It's about you, about returning to yourself, reclaiming your voice, standing in your truth, This path asks you to love him while also loving yourself, to trust the connection without losing your sense of who you are. That is where your true power lies, in your ability to hold space for both the love you feel and the growth you are moving through. Even in the silence, you are deeply connected. Even in the distance, you are walking side by side in ways your eyes cannot see. Love, when it is real, does not need constant proof. It is felt, it is known. It speaks in energy, in timing, in presence, and it always finds a way to rise again. So keep your heart open, but also keep your light strong. Let your love for him inspire you, but don't let it consume you. You are not waiting, you are evolving. And through that evolution, you are becoming the woman your soul came here to be. And when the time is right, when the healing is done, when the lessons are learned, when the masks fall away, your love will rise in full expression. Until then, know that you are enough, just as you are, loved, seen, cherished. Let your soul speak for both of you. Let your light lead the way.